Hugelkultur mound part 5, adding organic material, particularly leaf mold. It's a warm day, so the boys are spraying each other with water. They're not that interested in doing gardening stuff, but I'm sure you are if you're watching this. So you got to add organic material to hugelkultur mounds semi-regularly to keep them fertile and keep that humus going in there. So I went and collected pine needles. Truth is, pine needles are some of the best mulch and best organic material to add. If they're brown, they are not acidic. Not that it would be that bad if they were acidic, because most plants like acid, but put that in a different episode. Kind of hard to see here, but I've scooped these pine needles from under really big pine trees. I thank the trees for it, but you see in here there's funky stuff. This is from the bottom. It's like dirt. It's actually mud that's developed from decomposing material, and there's funky white stuff in there too, and that's leaf mold. So we're gonna add this big pile of material to the hugelkultur mound. When we last left off, the hugelkultur mounds were young, and I had put just about a cup's worth of dirt in each place for the strawberries to get their start in, because once they're started, they do very well. Here's the other one here. You can see they're very healthy. Some even have blooms on them. As I told you in my other videos, I do not pull blooms or daughters off of them. These are mother mounds, and they're gonna reproduce and leave lots of baby daughter plants. We're gonna build another hugelkultur mound there where I've cut that tree down. So we're moving. Progress is good. Good example of leaf mold right there. You can see some right there too. That's the best stuff that you can get, and so that's what we're trying to add. It also mulches them, it cools them, and allows water through. So I have surrounded each hugelkultur mound with a good 2 to 3 inch thick layer of pine needles and decomposed leaf material, leaf mold, broken down stuff. And so that stuff's gonna become available to the plants, you know, within a couple of years while the mounds start to really mature. Do you see the little strawberry plants? I tried not to cover them up too much so that, you know, they don't get choked out by it. Yes, I realize I look like Budnick from Salute Your Shorts, but just ignore that, like my hat, and then I'm gonna continue. The next thing that I have to do is I have to add some wood chips to the top, because I noticed there were some sweet gum balls. If you have sweet gum trees in your area, you'll notice sweet gum balls have tons of seeds in them. And so I'm a little worried that maybe those little seeds will sprout and I'll have to be pulling out little sweet gum trees. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put another layer of wood chips on top, which is, when in doubt, add wood chips. This is organic gardening 101. Always add wood chips. Permaculture. Let me throw all the hot words in there. Some of these techniques, they all, you know, they cross over. So you want to utilize many or all or some of these techniques. You know, you do what you can. I always believe that gardeners, you should use the available resources you have. Craft your own compost teas to activate bacteria. Make your own biochar. All these things are available right around you most of the time. Not always if you're in the city, but most of the time. Wood chips. An organic gardener's best friend, #1 resource. I pulled a couple examples of what you really like to see when you're messing with leaf mold and wood chips. You see this fungal mycelium. This pine cone is hardly even visible under it. That is good stuff, as I said in other videos. You know, unpack this stuff, do little bits. So now we've covered the hugelkultur mounds with a good layer of organic material. Leaf mold, pine needles, and whatever other brush was in that stack. And then I went back and covered it with a good inch or 2 of pretty broken down wood chips. So here you see our mounds are covered with wood chips just to prevent the possibility of those little sweet gum seeds popping, and some of them will. But if we keep covering, you know, hugelkultur, permaculture, the idea is just add organic material, let it break down using the natural fungi and bacteria and so forth in the area, and it creates a great habitat for plants. And so grow your own food, you know, make your own property a place where you can produce food. I hate lawns. Lawns are a terrible waste of space. I used to take care of them. They are a terrible way to use property. If everybody in the US grew food on their house, in their yard, not on their house, but on their property, in their yard, then there would be a lot more food and people would be eating a lot better. Thanks for all your help, Evan.